This conference will now be recorded.
వాళ్ళ వీడియోస్ తీసి పడేసారు పిల్లలు వాళ్ళకి వినపడతాయా మాటలు
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకే
Yes, ma'am.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ ఎవ్రీవన్
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
okay today's
Good morning.
my class good morning everyone. So today's my class is about gene therapy, cloning and stem cells. Okay, so this is only a brief introduction, not we are not going very deeply into that. Okay, gene therapy. So this is nothing but the introducing of genes which are of interest into a particular person. So what is gene therapy? It is intracellular delivery of genes to generate a therapeutic effect by correcting an existing abnormality. Gene therapy is mainly for the treating of some of the disorders. Okay, so this is comes under human genome product. So in this, what happens is defective gene is replaced by an important gene which is having more quality of characteristics. Okay, so gene therapy is nothing but the intracellular delivery of genes to generate a therapeutic effect by correcting an existing abnormality. Okay, this was introduced in 1990 on a 4-year-old girl named Ashish De Silva. In this patient, severe combined immunodeficiency disorder was treated by gene therapy at the first time in 1990. So what is the outcome of gene therapy? Is it replaces a mutated gene with a healthy one. Okay. A defective gene is replaced by a healthy gene. Deactivates a gene that is not functioning properly. These are the characteristic features of gene therapy. One is replacement of the mutated gene, and the second one is deactivated genes or the improper functioning genes are replaced. And another thing is, other than the replacement, we can introduce a new gene in the body which helps in immunity. That means they fight against the diseases. And the next thing is enhances the effect of normally functioning gene. So in turn, if you introduce a gene, that gene may enhances the activity of the previous gene, which is normally present in our body. And next is activates the gene that was shut down during fetal life. So these are all the important characteristic features that is produced by gene therapy. So gene therapy is mainly for the treatment of some of the disorders. The main outcome is one is a replacement of mutated gene and one is replacement of the unfunctional genes or deactivation of some of the unfunctional genes, introducing a new gene which can fight disorders. And next important features will be they enhances the normal functioning of the gene. So these are all the outcomes of gene therapy. So what are these gene therapies are classified into 5 different types. One is gene replacement, depending upon the replacement of mutated gene. Gene deactivation therapy, in this what happens is improperly functioned gene is deactivated. Next is transgenesis. One is gene enhancement therapy and gene activation therapy. Depending upon the functioning of the gene, so there are different classifications of gene therapy. Okay, one is gene replacement, one is gene deactivating, transgenesis, gene enhancement therapy, and gene activation therapy. So these are the different types of gene therapies. Next, how you introduce the genes. So there are two types of genes that can be introduced from somatic cells and germline cells. So based on the type of the cells, you can also classify gene therapy into two types. One is somatic, one is germline therapy. So first classification is based on the functional classification, that is the characteristics of the genes. Depending upon the functional classification, it is gene replacement, deactivation, transgenesis, enhancement, and activation, gene activation therapies. Based on the type of the cell chosen for gene therapy, it is of two types, that is somatic cell therapy and germline therapy. So germline therapy is the leading gene therapy. So in this, what happens? Germ cells will main features of germ cells will be, these will divide normal in amplification. So next is, any zygote produced as a result of this germ cell will have a correct version of the defective gene. That means by germline gene therapy, what happens? The proper gene can be regenerated without any defective gene in it. So here the division will be normal and the gene that is produced is normal. So that's why based on germline gene therapy is the appropriate gene therapy than the somatic cell therapy. Okay. So next, somatic cell gene therapy. What happens here is, single defective cell taken out of an individual's body and this functional version of gene introduced into cell in a laboratory. So in the laboratory, what happens? Cells will reproduce, copies of cells will be produced with a corrected gene, and that corrected gene will again injected back into the patient. So what happens in the somatic? The cell will be taken out. In place of the cell, what happens? The particular gene, what is required is divided. The cell containing the particular gene will be reproduced in a laboratory in vitro, and the copies of that cells is produced in the laboratory in vitro. That copies again is introduced into the defective body. Thereby, the offsprings will get a normal gene. So this is a somatic cell gene therapy. Okay. So what are the mechanisms that will introduce the genes into the body? One is ex vivo, in situ, and in vivo strategy. What happens in ex vivo strategy is, the patient cells are cultured in the laboratory, the new genes are infused into the cells in the laboratory, and that modified genes are again administered back to the patient. So all the production of the genes is taking place outside the body of an individual. So that's why it is ex vivo. What happens here is, the patient cells are taken out from the individual, and these cells are cultured in the laboratory. In that cells, what happens? The new genes are introduced. They will reproduce in the laboratory, and that genes are again administered back into the patient. So this is ex vivo. Next is in situ. Introduction. So here there will be a carrier of the gene. So ex vivo means the cells are developed outside of the individual body. There in the cells, the new genes are introduced, and that new genes are administered back to the individual. Ex vivo. In situ, what happens? That should be introduced is carried by a carrier. That is, it is carried by a vector. So that is in situ gene introduction. Next, in vivo, a vector is administered directly to the cell. So these are the three types of mechanisms where the genes are introduced in gene therapy. Okay. So what is gene therapy? The main basis of gene therapy is the treatment of abnormal genes that causes disorders in the individuals. Okay. So what are the mechanisms that are involved in gene therapy is, one is replacement of the mutated gene, Next, removal of the deactivated gene. Next, enhancement of the activated gene. Next is activation of the activated gene. And next is a production of genes. So these are all the mechanisms that are involved in gene therapy. The main purpose of this gene therapy is the treatment of different disorders. So based on the functional mechanism, there are 5 types of gene therapies: gene replacement therapy, deactivation therapy, transgenesis, gene enhancement therapy, and gene activation therapy. So depending upon the cells involved in the gene therapy, there are of 2 types. One is somatic cell gene therapy and germline gene therapy. Among these two, germline gene therapy is the most effective one. And next is based on the introduction of gene into the individual, there are 3 types. One is ex vivo, next is in situ, and next is in vivo. So in ex vivo, what happens? The cells that are defective will be taken out from the patient. They will be cultured in the laboratory. So in that, what happens? The defective, in place of defective gene, one more gene is replaced. So the cell divides, and that particular gene which is active is introduced into the individual. That is ex vivo gene therapy. In situ gene therapy, here what happens? A carrier is required for the gene to introduce into the individual. Next, in vivo, what happens? The vector which is carrying the gene is directly introduced into the individual. That is in vivo. So what is the summary of the procedure? Here the slide shows isolate the healthy gene along with its regulatory sequence to control its expression. Incorporate this gene onto a vector or a carrier as an expression capsid and deliver the vector to the target cell. Okay, so what are the different vectors that are used as a carrier for gene therapy? So there are of 2 types. One is a viral and next one is non-viral systems. So vectors are needed since the genetic material has to be transferred across the cell membrane and preferably into the cell nucleus. So yesterday Pradeepa madam told about the vectors, right? What are the different types of vectors available? And what is the best vector used? Anyone? Anyone heard about plasmid? What is a plasmid? What are the characteristic features of a plasmid? Maybe Pradeepa madam told about the vectors. Yesterday is the introduction class of recombinant DNA technology. So you have to learn about a plasmid, which is the best vector used, and the characteristic features of plasmid. Okay. So among the viral vectors, there are retroviruses, adenoviruses, adeno-associated viruses, and herpes simplex viruses. So these are the different viral vectors used in gene therapy. Okay. And the non-viral systems include spontaneous uptake by endocytosis, plasmid liposome complex, uncovered plasmids, gene gun methods, electroporation, and microinjections. Okay, among these things, microinjection is the best way of non-viral systems. Okay, so what you have to learn is what is the definition of gene therapy, what are the different types of gene therapies involved, and what is the main purpose of gene therapy. Okay, so this is enough at the stage of your level. Okay, no need of this. Just remember what are the carriers of genes in gene therapy. They are called as vectors. Vectors are of 2 types. One is viral vectors and non-viral. So among the viral vectors, that is retroviruses, adenoviruses, adeno-associated viruses, and herpes simplex viruses. Among the non-viral systems, the best mechanism is a microinjection followed by electroporation and endocytosis. These three you can remember, it is enough. Okay. So no need of all these things. What are the advantages of this gene therapy? So here you can see random insertion can disrupt normal gene. Retroviruses use rapidly dividing cells as targets. So in this mechanism, what happens? The non-dividing cells cannot be used. So the advantages, the treatment of different disorders by gene therapy is one of the advantages. What are the disadvantages? When you insert a gene, what happens? A normal gene can be disturbed. That is one defect. And next is retroviruses use only dividing cells as a target. So these are all the advantages and disadvantages of gene therapy. No need of this. So what are the disorders that have been treated till now by gene therapy? Is muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, familial hypercholesterolemia, hemophilia, hemoglobinopathies, Gaucher's disease, albinism, and phenylketonuria. So till now, these are all the disorders that are treated by gene therapy. Because so with this, we have finished a simple topic, that is gene therapy. So what is gene therapy? So gene therapy is a procedure involved in the replacement or the activation of a gene that is involved in a particular disorder. Okay, so the main purpose of gene therapy is the treatment of a variety of disorders. The first disorder that is treated by gene therapy is severe combined immunodeficiency disorder. And next, depending upon the functional mechanism of the genes, there are different types of gene therapies. Depending upon the types of cell use, there are two types of gene therapies that you have to write in your exam. Next, what are the carriers that are used for gene therapy? There are viral systems and non-viral systems. Among the viral systems, the main major four will be the retroviruses, adenoviruses, herpes simplex virus. So these are all the viruses. And next non-system, you can give an example of endocytosis, electroporation, and microinfusions. Mostly used will be the microinfusions. Okay, so different disorders are treated by gene therapy. You can quote an examples, that is Duchenne muscular dystrophy, cystic fibrosis, familial hypercholesterolemia, hemophilia, hemoglobinopathies, Gaucher's disease, albinism, phenylketonuria. So these are all the disorders that is treated by gene therapy. And what are the advantages and disadvantages? Advantages is it helps in the treatment of variety of disorders, and the disadvantages is when you insert a gene, the normal gene can be disturbed. And next one is only this introduced gene, these vectors will select only the dividing cells as a target. Non-dividing cells cannot be used in gene therapy. So these points, if you write, it will be enough for gene therapy, not more than that. We won't go deeply into it. Okay. So with this, we have finished gene therapy. And today one more topic is there. Ouch. One second. What happened? So one more topic is there, that is cloning. Okay. So this slides I have taken from another person who is my friend in research. I'll take important slides among this. So what is the importance of cloning? The main purpose of cloning is multiple copies of specific sequence of gene can be seen. Okay. So next, what is the importance or applications of gene? The functional genes can be introduced in a clone. That is one important thing. And what are the different types of cloning? There will be gene cloning, reproductive cloning, and therapeutic cloning. What is important for us is a therapeutic cloning rather than the reproductive cloning and gene cloning. So next comes the procedure. So what happens here is inserting a gene from one organism into the genetic material of a carrier called a vector. So we'll select a gene which is required. That gene is introduced into a carrier. That carrier is nothing but a vector. So mostly used vectors are, here you have seen the plasmid is an important vector that is used. The main characteristic features of the plasmid is it can reproduce itself. Plasmids. The reproduction of a particular gene in the plasmid doesn't require any control. So that's why plasmids are selected as the best vectors for the carriers. So after the gene is inserted, the vector is placed in laboratory conditions for cell division, resulting in the production of different copies of that particular gene. Okay. So what is the mechanism in cloning is, first we have to select a gene that has appropriate properties or the characteristic features. That gene is cut from the DNA by using restriction endonucleases. So these restriction endonucleases will cut a specific gene which is having a characteristic features. So that gene is inserted into a carrier that is called as a vector, mostly what we'll take as a plasmid. So these plasmids are again introduced into the cell, which undergoes different divisions in the laboratory, which can produce many types of particular gene. So this is the normal procedure of cloning. So cloning is nothing but the production of many copies or the several copies of a particular gene which have a specific characteristic features. So different types of cloning are there: gene cloning, reproductive cloning, and therapeutic cloning. So in this gene cloning, what happens? The gene containing specific features can be cloned and introduced into a so what we have seen in a gene therapy. So that gene is isolated and many copies of genes are produced and they can be introduced in a particular individual to have in the treatment of particular disorders. What happens in reproductive cloning is this helps in the production of different types of animals, which is having a, so this type of cloning is seen in animal husbandry and also in a plant husbandry. That means hybridation will be seen. So many plant products are produced by a mechanism called as hybridization. So likewise, animals can also be produced. Next important cloning is a therapeutic cloning. So it is used in the treatment of different disorders. So this is cloning. So these are the steps of cloning. You can see first step is a preparation step. Here what happens? The desired gene is selected and it is cut by using restriction endonucleases, and that particular gene is introduced into a carrier that is a plasmid. Okay, next step is the insertion. So after insertion of a particular gene into the vector, what happens? That vector is introduced into a host cell. So in the host cell, that gene is introduced and this in the that host cell is divided in the culture medium in the laboratory. So after that, so many cells are produced. That cells produced after division in the culture, what happens? That cells may contain or may not contain. So next step is the screening of the cells which contain a desired gene. So these are the steps of cloning. That is enough. So cloning is nothing but the production of several copies of a characteristic gene or DNA. So these are of three types. One is the gene cloning. So here only the desired gene is cloned, which helps in the treatment of different disorders. The genes that are produced in the gene cloning can be utilized in gene therapy. Next will be the reproductive cloning. So here this type of cloning is seen in animal husbandry and plants. Okay, different hybrid products or for plants are produced by the reproductive cloning. And the last one will be therapeutic cloning. And the procedure I have already dealt. Okay, so this is about cloning. Next. Hush. So next is the stem cells. So stem cell therapy is a leading therapy. Are you able to see the screen?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
Yeah. So stem cell therapy is the leading therapy nowadays in the treatment. So what are the stem cells? What are the characteristic features that are having in the stem cells? So stem cells have the remarkable potential to develop into many different cell types in the body during early life and growth. So from where the stem cells are taken? Any idea?
Umbilical cord.
Yeah, umbilical cord is the main source of the stem cells. So the main feature of these stem cells is they have a capacity to divide into many different cell types in the early life. Okay. So the main feature here you can see ability to divide into numerous types and produce progeny that undergo differentiation. So that differentiation can be calculated by this formula. Okay, no need for this. Just you remember what is the stem cell and what is the main source of stem cell. That is enough. Okay, so types of different stem cells. Two types will be available, that is embryonic stem cells. So what are the characteristic features of these embryonic stem cells is they can be highly undifferentiated, involved in allogenic transplantation and taken from umbilical cord. So these are the embryonic stem cells. Next, adult stem cells. So these have taken from the somatic cells. Maintain and repair the tissue and autologous transplantation. This is involved in autologous transplantation, whereas embryonic stem cells are involved in allogenic transplantation. This is enough about the stem cells at this level. So stem cells have the characteristic features of dividing into many cell types with differentiation. Okay, so depending upon the stem cells, there are different transplantations. Two types of stem cells are available: embryonic stem cells. These stem cells can be taken from the umbilical cord, and the main characteristic feature is highly undifferentiated, and they can be used in allogenic transplantation. So next, adult stem cells are nothing but they have taken from the somatic cells. These are mainly involved in the maintenance and repair of the tissue, and these are involved in autologous transplantation. Okay, so two mechanisms are involved in the treatment by using stem cells. One is transfection and transduction. So this is enough about stem cells. Okay, so today we have dealt about gene therapy, cloning and stem cells. Okay, again stem cells and cloning are involved in gene therapy. So that's why first I have given what is gene therapy. Gene therapy is nothing but the involvement of gene in the treatment of different disorders. So here what happens? By different mechanisms, this gene therapy can be done. One is replacement, one is deactivation, one is introduction of a particular sequence of gene which enhances its properties and which can activate its properties. So depending upon the mechanism or the functional mechanism, gene therapies are of 5 types. Okay, one is gene replacement, gene deactivation, transgenesis, gene enhancement and gene activation therapy. And depending upon the type of the cells used, again 2 types, one is somatic and germline. Among this, germline is the best method of gene therapy, and different disorders are treated by gene therapy till now. One is muscular dystrophy, hemophilia, hemoglobinopathies, familial hypercholesterolemia, phenylketonuria, and so on. And the first disorder treated is a severe immunodeficiency disorder in a 4-year girl, that is in DSLVA. So this is about gene therapy, and you have to write what are the advantages and disadvantages of gene therapy. Next comes the cloning. Cloning is nothing but the production of several copies of an imported gene which contains a specific characteristics. What happens in this gene therapy is the desired gene which is having characteristic qualities can be cut from the cell by using restriction endonucleases. And this desired gene is carried by a vector, that is by the plasmid, and this by the help of these restriction endonucleases, what happens? That gene is introduced into a vector. The main important vector is a plasmid which has a characteristic feature. And this vector is again inserted into the gene of a particular cell, and these cells are cultured in the laboratory. So these cells are divided in the laboratory in the cultures, and after production of different cells, what happens? Those cells are screened for the presence of a desired gene. So by the screening, what happens? You will be isolating the cell which is having a desired gene, and from that cell, copies of gene will be taken for the utilization of the treatment. So this is cloning. So cloning is of 3 types. One is gene cloning, reproductive cloning, and what is the third one? Therapeutic cloning. So gene cloning is nothing but the production of a particular gene which is again involved in the treatment of gene therapy. Next one is a reproductive cloning. This is the production of animals and different plant products, hybrid plant products in reproductive cloning. And the last one is therapeutic cloning in the treatment of different disorders. So this is about cloning. The best example here you can give a dolly as an example, which is produced by a cloning mechanism. Here in that it is the procedure of how the dolly is produced is there, but it no need for you. Okay, next is the stem cells. Stem cells have a potential feature of dividing into different cells with differentiation. So that is the main important characteristics of stem cells. So these stem cells are used in the treatment. So depending upon the type of a origin of the stem cells are of 2 types. One is embryonic and the next one is somatic. So these embryonic stem cells are taken from the umbilical cord and they are used in allogenic transplantation. And next is adult stem cells. These are used mainly in the maintenance and the repair of the tissues, and they are used in autologous transplantation. Okay, so this is a brief description of gene therapy, cloning, and stem cells. Okay, before going into this, rather than this, what you have to learn in recombinant DNA technology is what is a cDNA. What is cDNA? Anyone?
Cyclic DNA, ma'am.
How it is produced? So that you have to learn what are different vectors are used and what are the characteristics of plasmids. What are restriction endonucleases? That is important. And what you have to learn is different techniques that are involved in recombinant DNA technology. One is a blotting techniques. Have you heard about blotting techniques?
Yes,
Yesterday
ma'am.
class over. No? What are the different types of blotting techniques? 3 types: southern blotting, northern blotting, and western blotting. Have you heard about western blotting, right? Used in the identification of what? Western blotting. This is
Proteins.
western blotting is the confirmatory test. Yeah, for the proteins. So whereas the northern blotting is for
R.
yes,
RNA.
yes. Southern blotting is for DNA and western blotting is for protein detection. Okay, or determination. And next, what are the other recombinant DNA techniques? One is hybridization, that is seen in cloning. Next one is the blotting techniques. Next, restriction, RFLP, restriction fragment. What is that? Fragment length polymorphism. Yesterday, madam has told no. These are all the important techniques you have to learn. DNA fingerprinting, gene therapy. What are primers first? What are primers? No idea. So what are the important questions in recombinant DNA technologies? First, what is the importance of restriction endonucleases, different vectors, what is cDNA, how it is produced, production of cDNA is important. Next, different mechanisms involved in recombinant DNA technology is important. So that is blotting techniques. 1 second, I am writing your numbers, attendance. Restriction fragment length polymorphism, DNA fingerprinting, gene therapy, cloning. So all are important. Okay. So these all you have to learn in recombinant technology. What no need of the procedure, application is important rather than the procedure. Okay. Any doubts regarding today's topic?
No, ma'am.
I'm checking the attendance because attendance is important rather than the everything, right? Is it clear? Have you understood today's class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What madam told in the next today's class? So Murali Krishna B, what is your number, ma? Bala Murali Krishna B.
10, ma'am.
10.
I'm present, ma'am. Balamali Krishna.
Yeah. Senior, I didn't get your number. That's why I've asked. I can see your name here because you have a big name, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Long
Roll number
name.
10.
Yeah. So you have an assessment, right? How you are studying for the assessment? Internal assessment. Have you gone through all the syllabus of second internal assessment? No reply. Josna, are you there? Josna. So everyone kept the video and left. Huh? No one is
లేదు
answering.
మ్యామ్.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Online, ma'am.
Joshna net problem, ma'am.
Oh, is it an- okay, who are there?
69 present, ma'am.
69. Where is my son?
He's sleeping, ma'am.
47 present, ma'am.
He's sleeping, huh?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
ఇప్పుడే లేచాడు మ్యామ్ నిద్రలోంచి. నేను మెసేజ్ చేశాను మ్యామ్ వాట్సాప్ లో ఆడికి. మ్యామ్
నువ్వు
క్వశ్చన్
ఉన్నావు
అడుగుతున్నారు లెగరా అన్నప్పుడు.
నువ్వు ఉన్నావుగా మా ఇంట్లో.
Okay, he's there. I'm unable to hear him. How it's going on in the home? Are you going out?
No, ma'am.
నో మ్యామ్.
Reading, studying a subject. Huh? చదువుతున్నారా?
అవును అదే పనులు
తీసుకున్నారా? అక్కడ రాసుకుంటున్నాను. నేను అనవసరంగా రాసుకుంటున్నాను. Okay. Oh, okay, ma, we'll leave. Huh?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
All the best for the exam.
Bye. Thank you, ma'am.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ,
Ma'am,
మ్యామ్.
118 present.
మ్యామ్ టేక్ కేర్ మ్యామ్.
Thank you, ma'am.